I wasn't kidding. It was about 3 minutes. My apologies. We did have a little bit of a stream tech issue, but we are back. We are ready, and we are good to go. It seems like, as I say it, the teams are as well. My name's Five Delayed. Of course, I am joined by the only one Bay. And looking at this matchup, we have structure with 2 straight rounds. They are looking strong, but the question is, as they now head to their tertiary site, do you think they can keep it up?
We will see about that. Hyferion5 haven't done a lot to impress me. That last round for between the two, where Stizzy was in that 1v2, was a little bit too close for comfort. I would argue for Structure Esports. It was a bit better from Hyferion5. It wasn't like a complete mowdown from NCG at the beginning of the round. So we'll see how they play in this in this upcoming round, coming into this attack here on round three. They do have a lot of things to fix. Well, not a lot of things, but there's certainly some holes in their attacking sides that I would say need to be plugged up before they end up thinking about wins, right?
I mean, in all fairness, you usually want to focus on like one thing at a time. They say baby steps, and when you're down 2-0, there's no better time to focus on that one thing at a time. I'm looking at Hyferion's attack, and their one main issue is that they are losing gunfights and that they are dying early. Now, of course, Maddie spawn peeking doesn't particularly help their case, but I'd really like to see them just not die early. That would give them the good start they're looking for. I'm looking for Mazzy to get another spawn peak. Honestly, if they get a third one, that would be absurd. I don't think they're trying anything this time around. You can see on your UI, they are just placing their final Banshee, so I don't think they're going to gamble anything. Now, they're heading to what is kitchen or kitchen and meeting instead of meeting and dining or kitchen and dining. Now, which one do you prefer? Because I know almost every region other than LATAM and APAC prefers over towards that one. And, well, I don't really know why, as the sisters actually trade, as JRD will remove Profit. There's that extra 50 points for the sister rivalry.
Yeah, well, to answer your question, before that happened, it's a 4v4 now. It's 2 minutes and 10 left. To answer your question, I probably prefer kitchen and dining because the main thing about having kitchen and meeting hold is that you have to have a lot of coordination with your team to be able to hold the top floor, and you have to have a full strat. But as I say that, Stizzy takes out Jord, and that's the Ella gone with that shotgun. And as goes a nice shot from JRD. JRD? Here in chat.
Yeah.
And now it's a 4v3 advantage for Hyferion5. So the attacks look a lot better, but never mind, it's a 3v3. Koit getting the kill on the Autumn. They're
Koith is
looking at
6-0, by the way. I,
yup.
I just want to point that out. They've yet to die. They are looking next to flawless. They're going to look for a peek across. The Iana is gambling, to say the least, and so is the Mav, needing to count their lucky stars if they want to stay alive. But Koith is playing above, and oh my goodness, how are they not dead? Both of these players should be dead, convincingly. But at this point, both of them stay alive. The Mav will focus on towards that meeting wall, and you can see, yet again, Maddie looking for a peek onto the outside of the building. This time around, it's not going to work.
Koit is still getting aggressive on these nav holes that have been made. They still have this top floor control and added control as well, but if he pushes above on the soft wall where they're probably going to be looking to get a plant on that stage, right? Oh. Sorry, I heard a bird. Anyways, if they are looking to deny the push here, Gecko though is gonna get a kill onto Koro, and that's the castle gone. Uh, Now they can look for a plant here behind backstage, but Koit is still gonna be getting aggressive on the map. He's gonna get lit up from it. He's not gonna be able to get a flank here, but Matthew is. Matthew gets a kill onto MP9, and it's now a 2v2 with 19 seconds left to go. What's going on here?
They have to push through. Stizzy has to get this diffuser down. Gecko gonna try and do their best to protect, but a slim level of HP on Stizzy. A single shot, a single sneeze will take them out. A well-placed toothpick in their general direction will remove them from this one. The peak will come through, but it is finally Hyferion5 to come out on top of this round. Look at the pre-fire coming through from the Mav, and they just predict it perfectly. The Malusi dealt with swiftly, and that's finally a round on the board for the attackers.
Mhm. Good round from Hyferion5. The whole seemingly from NCG kind of crumbling before them. They had that top floor control. And going back to the question you asked me if I wanted to defend kitchen dining or meeting hall kitchen, I'd have to switch up my answer and say meeting hall kitchen because the top floor hold is really prevalent on both sites. But with the way that kitchen and dining is set up, you have to do it's more of a it's more of a second floor hold and small tower hold if you get me. Like you have to not let the attack get full control of either. And whereas with meeting hall, it's more or less not letting them get full control of kids' dorms, right? So we are heading into this round. Hyferion5 have looked to kind of have looked to fix their mistakes as they won that round, and we are going to see if NCG are going to crumble again with their defensive holds, or if they are going to be able to do the same thing that they were able to do in those first 2 rounds they won, and that's be aggressive and win those gunfights off of being aggressive.
So now I feel like the structure side has some structure around their defense. We saw it really just crumble a little bit towards the end of that round. They really weren't expecting that long haul run through towards the kitchen side, and it really went their way on the Hyferion attack, at least. Now, structure, they need to show up. They need to make sure they can defend just as well as they did the previous 2 rounds, at least the 2 before they lost. Now, Mathy is doing another gamble peek. This is, well, as they say, a shot in the dark, as he has literally no vision. This is going to be an Iona clone. Actually, that's the Zofia. She's just going to walk in. Is she just going to take this fight? Oh my goodness, she is. And she may die for it. No, Mathy will get away from that, as will the Zof on the other side. That was dangerous for Prophet.
If you want actually, if you want somebody to be battling those type of angles, it is Prophet. I've seen him hit nasty shots before, but that's a little bit too much to ask of him against that angle from Matthew on that MP5. And it is an even man count heading into 2 minutes and 10. They have this top floor control. They push the roamers back successfully to site. There is no more aggressive roamers unless there's another one that I can't see. Nope, it looks like they're all back on site. 2 minutes left. And H5 looking to make an execute now. They have these players set up in second floor and a player set up on freezer stairs. MP9 going to this backstairs push though. SHX. Well, you know what? Ella's just gonna be waiting with the shotgun there. I'm gonna mix up his name a lot, so I'm just gonna use operator name. I cannot do it right now.
That seems fair to me. SX with the FO12 in hand. Now, I like the play here. You're gonna have the L. You're gonna have that Gershmont mine almost certainly in that position. So a quick stun and a quick peek, you get a free kill with the shotgun. It takes a very, very large margin of effort to miss shots as such. Mathy doing a decent bit of damage on the Hibana, and the information's there. They're gonna try and peek around. In goes the flash, and they'll have to make their way down. They do just that. Somehow, fully blind, they get away. That is some map knowledge right there, and Prophet with some kill knowledge as they remove the Jaeger on the opposing side. The German will have no further say here in round 4. Oh.
Working well for his point is going to get lit up though, and it's still 50 seconds left as H5 or in the High5 are actually in the advantage here. Gecko just above that hatch looking to stop this aggression from Matthew. He's just raining terror on him, and as I say raining terror, Coit is actually raining terror on Prophet. Eliminates him from this round, and that's the Sophia gun. Those concussion and impact nades gone. No further use for her as she's dead. It's a 4v4, and they have 25 seconds left to make a play on site. They cannot dilly-dally no longer as Matthew is still in that position. He's not been pressed off yet. He's going to move up main stairs and go for this flank though. And he's going to eliminate Stizzy. That's a nice shot from Matthew. Oh my god. SX with the double trouble with the shotgun on Ella. And that's the round, folks. Structure Esports 3-1.
That is absurd. If anybody was doing the math on that one, that was nuts. That's what the math output there. Structure pick up the round, and in a convincing fashion too. There was no doubt in my mind past that 30-40 second mark that Structure were gonna be able to pick up the round, and that was the start they needed. Koith with the kill over onto Prophet, and then Mathy and SX just picking things up after that. Mathy, of course, with the sick double. They finished off the Hibana they were previously focusing on, and then they just moved on to the Mav. That was a little cruel and unusual to say the least, but I'm looking at how the round played out. And Hyferion5, after gaining that top floor, after pushing back that defensive side, they just struggled. They stalled, if you will, and that's not what you want to do. Once you gain control, you need to push off of that control, not stop yourself where you lie. That's what killed them. That's what stopped them. And that's what ended their attempt at the 4th round. Structure with that 3-1 lead. If they pick this one up, they're looking good. I think they can as well. Last time around, it was a clutch coming through from SX on the smoke. Or sorry, not from SX on the smoke, but on somebody on the smoke. And I believe it was Coit, if I remember correctly. It was so long ago. The little quick tech issue we had. I can't even remember.
I think it was Coit was actually on the Kite last round. I think it was. I think Koro was actually. I can't. You know what? I can't remember. That's fine. But I do know that Coit was. I got. All right, we do head into this round though, folks, and it is. I don't know what Hyferion5 have planned for this round. If they're gonna battle back the aggression that NCG met them in the first 3 rounds that they won, right? But Matthew's actually going to be looking to rotate up small tower stairs here. And I don't know what his plan is unless it's a very big peek. He has this window open. Somebody's going to repel up there. They're not going to notice him.
No
and
way. He just missed.
Oh.
He just missed. What the?
Matthew. Gecko just float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Muhammad Ali defense just dodging, weaving those shots. And he's left lit. He's left the worst aware of their gunfight. But Matthew's going to be biting himself in the butt here as he didn't get that kill. He's going to try.
Oh, and he dies too. Oh my goodness. This Gecko, you are the luckiest man on the face of the earth. The shot was sick, but Matthew, I'm not going to lie to you. If you watch this VOD back, stop trying to bolo peek. You crouched like 19 times. If you just stand there and shoot him, he dies.
Got a bolo peek, but he's playing like bolo. He's 6-4, but he's dead now, so it doesn't really matter. Oh my! Jordan is gonna look to get aggressive on these small towers. He's not gonna give them complete map control yet. It is 1:30. They still have a lot of time to waste. What? It's a trade. SX gets a nice and MP9 trades him out. Coit is getting aggressive and it pays off. MP9, you're dead, bro. What happened, man? Gecko is down. I don't know from what. Oh, Jordan just pushing, getting aggro on this small tower take here, and it's theoretically a 2v2 right now as Gecko's down but not out on this small tower stairs.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for JRD there, because Gecko is basically dead, but they're gonna be able to be picked up and put back to that 20 HP margin they were basically already in. Now, Autumn in this close corner. They're gonna have to push in with that. Oh my goodness, the bearing 9 and the just Gershmont mine around them. This is gonna be difficult for them to push. There is the toxic babe on that side just the same, so they have to make a push. And Karu will clothesline them where they stand. Down goes the Japanese attacker. And that is not what Hyferion5 needs. Dizzy going to do their best to hold things down, but the nade across from Gecko will get the down onto Karu. It's down to the 1 versus 1 unless they get the pickup here. It seems like Karu will get picked up, and yes, that's exactly what happens. It's 100 at about 30 HP up against just 100 on Sizzy. They peek around, M4 in hand. They have to clutch this out. They have to do something, and they have to go for the kills. They do not have the diffuser, and that will be their demise. JRD with the finish there as the Jaeger closes out the 4th round of the board for Structure. They continue to extend their lead.
Good round coming in for JRD. They're getting those shots, getting those frags, and getting the most important frags to really hand his team the win there. And it is 4-1 now. They're going to meeting called Kitchen. And High Five, they're gonna want another round. The worst they can do is go 5-1 here on this split. But the best they can do is go 4-2 on a split. And if you're attacking Oregon first, usually in competitive play, you'd want to go either 4-2 or 3-3 come the half. You know what I mean? You don't look for anything above that. I mean, if it's available to you, yeah, sure.
I don't think I'd complain going 5-1 or 6-0 and a half. I don't think they would either.
I would.
You would complain if you went 5-1 and a half?
5-1 and a half?
Yeah, like your team's score. You know, if it was 5-1 at halftime.
They have two rounds to win. Usually teams in a 5-1 lead, even if they do switch to the attack, will never like choke a 5-1 lead unless you're the Golden State Warriors of unless you're the Golden State Warriors of Esports Siege. I don't see that happening. But like, we are heading into this round. We just started, and Hyferion5 are gonna look to grab their second round for the halftime rotation.
I feel like Structure is able to pull this one out. Karoo being about 50 HP lower than what they spawned with, I don't think they're going to be too happy with him. I don't think the castle's going to be in a great position. It's already castle. You're already in a disadvantage, as I can't speak English. But I gotta say, I'm not a fan. Karoo, not in a good position. They have the UMP. This is not looking good for Structure early on. And I mean, in all fairness, it's an extra 50 HP compared to like your total HP given of 550. But still, it's something to write home about.
They don't have a Thunderbird, nor do they have a Doc to dock him up neither. So his HP is just gonna stay like that until, you know, he gets lit up some more. But he's not even out yet, quite yet. He still has that UMP in hand with the 1.5, but the UMP is one of the weaker guns in the game. Coming, you know, just in general in Siege. But they are going to be looking for a hard attic push. And for this site, if you're looking to attack Meeting Hall, you do want to have attic control. You do want to have attic control. I cannot stress this enough, because if the defenders have attic control above you, they're able to deny that plant behind stage, or I'm sorry, on stage very easily, and you will not be able to get the plant off.
And you want to get that plant off, obviously. I mean, that really goes without saying. And oh my goodness, you want to stay alive. Koith, no, why do you run outside of your barrier, keeping your toes clean and clear of the line of sight for apparently no reason? That was a questionable decision. SXK is going to look to bring things back. The peak towards the Iana. Not gonna hit anything as the Iana holding their own line of sight. They're holding that far angle. And I gotta say, that was a questionable one, to say the least, from Koith, who seemingly has not made that many mistakes. And SXK gets peaked and dropped. That is not good.
MP9 is finally hitting his shots. He wasn't having that great of a start to the match, but he got 2 important frags there, making this a 5v3 for his team. You see the Maverick codes being made here on this stage wall and the Meeting Hall wall. And they're going to be looking to probably clear some utility lag. Sorry, there was lag on my side. But Matthew, though, is going to get aggressive on that peak there.
Matthew, oh my goodness, no.
Lord. Matthew got aggressive and it didn't work out. He did down Gecko, but he's not down. He's down but not out, you know the saying. And it is it is theoretically a 4v2, but with Gecko being picked up, it is going to be a 5v2. Koro is going to get aggressive here on this peak, and he's going to be the only one left alive in this 1.5. He's going to collect one. Can he collect another? No, he cannot. Prophet is going to shut him down, and that is a 4-2 split. High5 winning that round. There's a lot of things going on.
What the heck did I just watch?
You know?
I think I just lost brain cells trying to watch that defense. Oh my gosh. Structure.
You remember Joe from Navi, and how how overly aggressive he was and how people compare this play style to rank? In that case, I have to compare Matthew's gameplay to that.
I don't even know if that's just reckless. That's not even really aggressive. That's just reckless.
It's not. It's reckless. It's crazy. It was probably one of the worst decisions that I've ever seen. Coming into competitive play, he was just kind of prone there, and he kept like sliding, and he ran right in front of somebody, and then he just got killed.
I don't even know if that was the issue. You can see they were playing aggressive, yeah, but I think the main reason that was just for lack of a better term, a crappy play, was they had the player down in front of him. He was just chilling right in front of him. And instead you decide, oh yeah, I'm gonna instead run away, attempt to just die before actually killing a down player, and then just holding the ground, because they unnecessarily ran across the like they didn't finish off the player they had already justifiably down, and in the end, that's quite literally what got them killed. I feel like Hyferion5 were gifted the first last. I really think that should have been a 5-1 half, and Structure, with how they were set up, they really shouldn't have been able to pick that one up.
But They gave up some pretty key picks up in Attic, and like I said, if you want that meeting hall stage plant, you are going to take control of Attic. And I think High 5, they won their gunfights, ultimately MP9 getting 2 really important frags. We're seeing their good round for them. And you wasn't have the best start to this game, but talk about worst starts in anything, and it's the worst start in the round for NCG, as JRD is going to get aggressive on that garage take, and he's going to get shut down by the hatch. I've seen that before, where I've seen players just rush into a hole on that same thing right there, and the hatch was open, and they just kept pummeling in. It was crazy. I don't know. I don't know why people don't drone that out, and he didn't, and he got killed for it. And you see these Maverick holes being made on Attic Wall as well. What's the plan for NCG here, as they just lost their IQ?
I mean, what they could have done is they could have had the sledge, which we now see, instead of sitting on the box they are chilling on. If we take a look into the third person point of view over there, in a second, you can actually see there's a bar that goes across where you can get a sick angle from Maddie. They're playing aggressive, and they are now playing with fire, and, well, that's going to burn them. They are now 6 feet under instead of taking a duel. That is not what you need for this structure side. Now down 2 players. One of your 2 main fraggers in this map. Gecko, again, we're seeing dangerous plays from both of these teams. And I gotta say, you need to see caution. And they are not erring on that side. Corey pushing in and seemingly with no respect for their own life as, well, the German head pops up in front of them, but they just don't shoot it.
Gecko playing record still on that hatch, wide open, and he doesn't hear SX right above him with that sledge. And it's a 4v2, but it's still in the advantage of High 5. But what was that? Gecko got a really nice kill, and then he just kind of let his life go above that hatch. He was wide open. I guess he just didn't hear. He just didn't hear the player below him. But SX is gonna wander up these white stairs. He's gonna destroy the barbed wire, and he's gonna get spotted out by that proximity alert. Still being cooked just for him, and Boy is able to pick up that frag on into MP9, making this a 3v4 win. 25 seconds left to go.
You can see Quick just jumps in and gets a free kill onto Profit. Oh my goodness, how did they get given that kill? SX now looking to peek around. Quick does get one. It's down to the 1 versus 1 as their teammate is down. SX on the ground. The AK-12 peeks in, but they will fall. The Vector with the higher fire rate and just the better overall skill margin. That is a free one, and that is the round.
He knew he had an inkling of where he was at, but he just didn't pre-fire. It's unfortunate coming in for Coit, and that's the round for High 5, and it's a 3-4. High 5 are actually looking to tie this round up for the first time in a while, and possibly even look to take the lead next round. But they are going to go to laundry room and supply. They do have the smoke and a Jaeger, so I see an elbow hold, and I also see the Ella, so probably a Harry Potter hold as well with the Maestro, so probably a Shaiko hold as well. Never mind. Maestro traded for the Kaid, and I say that's a pretty good 6-pick, wouldn't you?
Get baited. That's what I have to say. You were like, oh, we're going to have a Maestro. And then they switched straight to the Moroccan, keeping it around the Mediterranean. But I gotta say, that is a bait to have. I was really hoping for the meatball, but instead we get to be shocking. Okay. The electrical shocking. Funny. Stizzy, they're gonna be back on the Jaeger. And I like the switch. Instead of having Gecko in the Jaeger, they're going to have Stizzy, which Stizzy throughout this game I think has had better aim overall. They've also been a little less reckless. And playing on the Jaeger, you usually see players play aggressive, but they play smart at the same time. And Gecko in that previous round, they almost threw that away, as you said, playing in the hatch, a little nonchalant.
He didn't hit a player below him, and I can kind of understand that siege sound can be kind of scuffed up sometimes. And he probably just didn't hear him. So I'm not too upset about that play because they did win the round overall, you know, just by a hair, just by a little bit. And now heading to round 8. See that Ash be picked here. I haven't seen an Ash player for a while, not with the R4C. SX though is getting aggressive on his small tower take, and he's probably going to be looking to take control. Keppa's team pushed down freezer stairs. Prophet barely missing the Ayana by a little bit. That's not the clone, that's the real person. Wow, 2 minutes Not even a minute gone by, and so a little bit of action happening here and there. Does it speak volumes about what's going to happen in this round?
I'd like to see the new, more pushed up play from Structure. They really took a little too long in that round. You could see the quick play in the previous round around. Koith is going to be back on the ace, the AK-12 back in hand, and MP9 is going to replicate the Ela play on the opposing side. SX is going to have a page ripped out of their book, as that FO12 will be in that close stairs position. There's the information. There is the Iana, and now stunned. She'll have to hold her ground and just wait just a couple seconds for that weird effect to go away. Koru, they're going to take out this hatch, and this is a quick get of the hatch. You can see this vertical play already coming through. This is shaping up to be a good construction.
They're already getting these hatches. They didn't get the one in security room, but they are getting the one by meeting. They are looking to, I think that was a backstairs take, I'm pretty sure. It looks like they're taking some control pretty earlier on than they did last round. And you see SX is trying to put some pressure onto this player and use it as profit. And he's gonna get naded. That barely, oh, that was almost a perfect nade. But he's barely gonna get hurt. He's barely even gonna get hurt by the nade. And he's not left that badly hurt in that fight.
Unfortunately, just not cooked long enough. A close one, but not quite close, but no cigar, as the kids say nowadays. Koru, they're gonna shape up with the M4. They're gonna try and play vertically, and then they just drop away. Maddie just dropped and got a knife kill onto Gecko. They just walked in and took out the Cade from behind, checked between the shoulder blades, and that has to kill you. SX and Koru both getting one. This is shaping down to just be a Hyferion5 clutch, if anything, for this defensive side. Korath looking around, looking, and, well, they just get a free one on towards the Jaeger. It's down to the 1 versus 2. It's just Autumn. SMG 11 in hand and 15 seconds to work with on this defensive side. There is the diffuser for this ace, but they have to get out a freezer, and they do just that. No, they don't. They don't make it out. The diffuser has to be picked up, or it has to be a kill coming through. The R4C in hand for JRD. They have to push through, and they will not win it. They will not have the time. Hyferion5 clutch it up, and they tie us up going into our 9th round.
Well, you know, if you want one operator in that position, it is the smoke. It's most definitely the smoke. And Autumn showed us why. I have no words. I want to say I'm a little bit upset by that from NCG because at the end of the day, it was a lack of intel on their side. They didn't know where the smoke was at. They didn't know where he was playing at. He was by pillar, and they didn't have any type of intel on where he was at, and it ultimately cost them the round. They just ran blindly through main hallway, and I don't understand. I don't understand that. I know they were rushing themselves, but still, you don't. There needs to be some type of confirmation on that intel of where that player is at, because that cost us the round.
That's gotta hurt. That's all I have to say. That's gotta hurt. They are now on their opponent's map pick, tied up on their opponent's defensive side. This is not looking strong, to say the least, for Structure. If they pick up this round, this is okay. But if they drop this, they almost certainly drop Oregon entirely. I gotta say, Hyferion5, they're looking good. They're not looking outstanding, but I gotta say, when they're looking at this, Hyferion5, they're in a good spot on their own.
Well, kids, oh no, not kids. I'm so sorry, I did not look at the site properly. It's a meeting hall dining defense, or yeah, meeting hall kitchen defense, and they do have a top floor hold. I'm very zen right now. I had to calm down after that last round because I was so energized. So I had to calm down, and I'm zen. But you see NCG taking the west side control here, and it's a pretty quick piece of control. I think that's the Ayana already in sight, but she's taken down by Stizzy from above, and that's oh, don't tell me you're gonna peek that same angle and get taken out, Koro. Not looking good for Struggling Esports as they tried for a very early take into sight and Oh, okay. JRD is gonna get the second frag of the game. This time in their advantage. And 4v4. Oh, brother.
Well, that's unfortunate. You hate to see it, but hey, it's a kill anyway. Oh my goodness, SX, the high IQ play. MP9 is dropped. The trade will finally come through. It's a late one, but a trade nonetheless. The nade does go in towards the security side, but the information on Autumn is not there, and the nade goes errantly towards that west side of the room. Autumn, they need to hold their ground. It's a 3 versus 3 structure. They're not in an awful position, but they could be in a much better one at that. I like how this Hyferion defense is shaping up, though. They are not looking bad, but they need to win their gunfights, and that's really what it boils down to. It is a first-person shooter, after all. You do have to shoot your opponents, and with this dining attack being set up, structure, they could look good, but with this peak possibly coming through, there's Autumn, there's SX dead, and it's now just down to 2. Both of them mildly low HP. Now it's just Koru. They are left alone. It's just the Mav, and I don't think they can do it.
I don't think so. See, you know, as Stizzy gets a triple kill, you saw it top right. You know, Stizzy's having the game of his life, whatever. My biggest thing with NCG right now is that they're not collecting enough intel on the defensive positions. You saw one player die to that angle from kids' dorms, and then you saw another player get lit up from that same angle. And you saw the Ash blindly rushing. She did get a kill, mind you, but then she got down and then out. And then it was just a lot of messiness from Structure Esports. They're not, it's almost as if these rounds aren't even close. And the reason why they're not even close is because Structure Esports are not coordinating well enough on these attacks. They're not droning out everything. They're not gathering enough intel. And the one thing that will win you games in Siege, ranked competitive games, it doesn't matter what they are, is intel. If you have intel on where the enemy team is, you will win 110%. I promise you.
Yeah, and that's one thing about Rainbow Six. It's one of those unique games where you could have virtual wall hacks and it be legal. Now, don't actually go out and get real-life wall hacks, because then BattleEye is going to get upset with you and knock you out. Well, hopefully, they can all try and play ranked, but that's fine. Hyferion, they've been playing the information game much better. They've had the info on the board. Even with the lack of the Valve, they have been using that trade info that they've gotten. They've been using their death cams basically to perfection. And now they are 2 rounds away from winning it, and it's on the 2 primary sites played. The 2 favorite sites of defenders on Oregon are available for Hyferion5, and that's all they need to close this out.
If they can finally drone correctly, MP9 is going to actually try and go for a spawn peek, but he's just going to put a little pressure onto the spawn that nobody spawned at. So funnily enough, you didn't do anything, MP9. Congratulations. I sound sarcastic because I am. And it looks like NCG are actually going to go for a big tower attic push, and also maybe a big window push here as well, as you see the buck of JRD. Not this time going below, but putting pressure onto this big window.
And this is early pressure as well. They haven't really shaped up anywhere else, which is okay, I suppose, but if you don't create pressure elsewhere, you can't really establish control towards that big window because everybody's going to be looking at you. Nice flash in. That, well, Slizzy can't see a dang thing, but nobody pushes off of it, so honestly a little bit of wasted utility. Gecko, however, is now dead, and I don't know where the heck that was from, and Prophet just got team killed.
Oh God.
I really want to know if that was intentional, if they had like some skin. But I have a sneaking feeling that it wasn't, and MP9 was just expecting somebody in attic and killed their team.
I think it was a bit too late to be killing people over his skin. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was just a mess up from MP9, but that's okay. Not really though, because it's a 3v5. Structure Esports with the advantage here, and they look very convincing this round. JRD getting another kill with that buff. Essex, whatever his name is, gets the kill into MP9. It's a fight of 1v4. Nomad is just going to be prone on white stairs. Canadian plays for days, but unlike Canadian, he's actually going to win the gunfight here, and it is a 5-5 scoreline. It's tied right now. My God, this is a good game. This is a good game.
This is close. Now, Hyferion, they still have kids' dorms, and they have the laundry side available. That's what's on the board and prepped for them. But it just boils down to who will come out on top. Structure winning their gunfights, and I gotta say, a little uncharacteristically on this attacking side. That's the first round they've won since halftime, and it's looked a little questionable. You can see the only person with clutches on this Hyferion5 side is Autumn, with 2 of them, by the way. Nice job. But I gotta say, I'm not liking either of their chances to win this in regulation. Structure finally showing up towards that top floor. If they do so again, I can almost say for certain we're going to see an overtime. Because Hyferion5 on the bottom floor, even though the last time around they were not commanding, this time I feel like they could just show up.
Not gonna predict the future, but I will say, if this is how Oregon looks, imagine what Shell looks like. This is gonna be a good match, I can already tell you, because it's already being a good match right now. It's 5-5. It looks like this is probably gonna go to overtime. But if any one other, whatever that saying is, has anything to say about it, they need to say it now, and they need to say it in the next round as well as the round starts out.
I feel like if you have something to say, you just say it outright. You don't wait and bide your time in order to make a point. And I feel like both of these teams have done just that. They want to show up in style. We have a confirmed 12-round matchup. Now the question is, do we go to overtime, or will the winner of this round win things out? And then the question stands, who the heck's going to win this round? Koith wants to make it them as they open things up in the big window. That is not the opening that Stizzy wanted, as the smoke is already off the board. That is a lot of plant denial down, and now MP9 is gone as well. Structure are showing up, and where the heck was this in the first 3 rounds of our second half?
Tell you where it says right here, right now. It's 5v3, the smoke. And oh my god, more emphasis on the smoke, because now he can't deny this window push. If they were to jump in, there's no smokes to choke down their health as there would be were he alive. And now they're going to be pushing this big window hard with that smoke gone. Oh, that's a wild swing from Autumn, and he gets smoked by Koith. Wow, 5v2. Prophet's going to look to rotate back into sight up white stairs. See the players still set up on this big window, and why not? They're getting the picks that they want. Gecko, though, is not going to get the picks that they want, but you know what? It doesn't matter because the triple around.
It's over, just like that. A snap of a finger, a blink of an eye, and Structure take the lead. I thought Hyferion5 were looking well, and they were looking strong to finish this a possible 7-4, but Structure were like, here, hold my beer, and just walked in. They took it over, and they have now taken the lead. On the attacking side, this is looking good. A cap can is being shown. Now, the question is, will that be used as a bait for players to just worry about their doors, or is MP9 going to stick with this? I feel like they may 6th pick off, but no, it's going to be Gecko to switch from the Cade onto the Beatball this time around. We will actually see the Maestro, at least as long as they don't switch in the next 5 seconds. I don't think they will. Koru shaping out to possibly switch to a Thermite or something, but it's the very strategic 6th pick from the Maverick to the Maverick. I don't think that Hyferion5 are going to expect this.
Wow. Yeah, at least you know Hyferion5 learned one lesson from the last round. You want to know what that lesson is?
What's that?
They didn't go to kids because they lost kids twice in a row, so this time they're going back down to basement. They won a basement, I think. Yes, they did.
Yeah, but they only won it in 1 versus 2.
Yes, they did. And it was Autumn.
Yeah, that's... I don't know how I feel about Hyferion. They were looking strong. If they won the top floor, I would have given them this round every day of the week. I would have, certainly. But they've now lost it twice in a row. They don't have momentum on their side. And I gotta say, they are not looking as strong as they once were. This is going to be a difficult round for them to win. It was disadvantageous last time around, but MP9 is looking to make it a little easier as those 2 cap can traps on the same door. The wee bit of a buff on to the Russian, and that is a sneaky play on the double door.
Oh, that a wee bit of a buff. I call it a really, really good buff because well, not really a good buff. Not really that really good buff, but it's a decent buff. You know what I mean? 5v5. 30 seconds they have gone by. It looks like Structure Esports have gone for this construction push. And you see MP9 is going to say Nitrous so into construction, but it's not going to hit nobody. It's still there.
Oh, it's a bait. if they don't find out Autumn's here, no, they will. So Autumn has to back out. The goal there was MP9 throwing in the C4 and just allowing Autumn to play in that position, hold it down. They do back up to their shield, and they actually come out on top of the gunfight. Maddie playing aggressive, and they are shut down yet again. The SMG-11 on the opposing side will remove them from contention in our final round of regulation. Now, does that just mean that Structure out of this game? Because Koi has 15 kills through our now 11 rounds played, plus our 12th round currently going on. And I gotta say, if they can show up like they have, they are averaging just over 1.5 kills per round. Can they continue with that statistic? Can they continue to frag out? They push in. It is SX to drop. And that is Autumn coming on top of yet another gunfight. This smoke is looking dangerous.
They droned him out, they got the intel. Koro's just gonna get that swing from Pocket. And Cord is just gonna get down as well by Stizzy. As I can't finish my sentence. They're giving me something to talk about. Give me something to talk about. Quaid is actually gonna give me something to talk about. He gets his 16 kill of the game, and he's been on fire. It might be the power of that Kickstarter car, I don't know, but I think
oh no! Oh no!
This cat, okay, MP9 gets a double kill, but what was that? Coin? I brag on you and you just do that?
Oh my gosh, he threw that. I'm so sorry he threw that. The information was not there on MP9 in either of the two fashions. Those two cap can traps I illustrated back towards the prep phase, they come back to bite them. That is the round going the way of Hyferion5. That is those two cap can traps blowing Koru to bits. And, well, the missed shots, the AK-12, from about 3.5 inches away. That costs Structure possibly this game entirely. Hyferion5 take us to overtime, and this is only map 1.
You know what? Key note: never brag about a player mid round because they're just gonna do what
attackers need to locate and defuse bomb.
Okay, because we all have to do like that. This time they are gonna go for a base again because they didn't win it last round, and it is overtime. We have overtime as I would have, as you expected it to be. I didn't really think it would go this far with how Structure have been playing those last few rounds, and having a slight little comeback, but. Here we are. It's overtime. AP9 back on the captain. Is he gonna get another kill with this trap? Is he gonna get a flick with the shotgun yet again? I don't know. We'll see though coming up in this upcoming round right here. Because I can't get my sentences together because it's hot right now.
I gotta say, I'm a little surprised that MP9's just bringing that sausage instead of the 9x9 GSN, because almost everybody brings the 9x9. It has a 1.5x on it. It has like no recoil whatsoever, and then they just show up with the sausage in hand. And I really can't blame them. They're using it correctly. Prophet is dying early. That was over towards the shower side. They are now dead and deceased. The Wamai, done and dusted, and 6-12 is not a scoreline you can see from your Zofia and Wamai player, who, well, that's a 0.5 KD showing up in this map 1.
I bragged about Prophet coming into this game because he does have a lot of potential. He has a high skill ceiling. He's probably one of the best shots inside of T4 competitive play that I've seen, in my few games of casting. But he's really good, and right now he's not having the best game, and that's not really what you would expect to see from him, but at least Dizzy and Autumn are stepping it up, and it is a 5v4 coming into this. But Structure Esports, 2 minutes left, and they're trying to make an execute onto site, and they have enough time to do so.
They do, and with a man advantage, they are on the front foot. MP9 holding down this laundry room bomb chassis with the shotgun in hand. They need to play close range. JRD is going to create some room over towards the main stairs, and they will just walk themselves towards it. A little bit of lag, but I mean, MP9, well, we can't see anything. They apparently can barely see themselves living. They have to make their way back to the bomb chassis where their safe haven is. And with now 90 seconds left in this clock, Structure are looking strong. They are looking prepped and ready. And Hyferion5, I gotta say, this is looking like a dangerous round. It's a 5 versus 4, and they have one player on a sliver of health.
Bomb located by
MP9 backing up into that line of sight that the Ash had on main stairs. And Steve's gonna get aggressive on it. that's coming in. He's also going to get aggressive on that. He almost gets a kill from that. Coit is lit up in one shot, basically. You see, oh my god, was that a pistol whip? No, it wasn't. 2 kills coming out from the side of NCG. Make that 3 as Matthew gets a kill into MP9. MP9 gets the kill from the grave from his Capcan traps, and it's Autumn in the 1v3 clutch. If you want an operator in this position, it is the smoke. Can he clutch it out? Can he get this first pick coming in for Freezer? He's gonna try and peek it, but he's gonna move. Just in the nick of time. Timing, but he's gonna get caught out by his own shield. SX getting that kill. He lines him up behind his own shield and elbow, and that is overtime match point for Structure Esports.
And they head on the defensive side. They went 4-2 in their defensive splits. The only 2 rounds they lost, Meeting and Kitchen. Every single time they were outside of those 2 sites, basically laundry room and supply room, along with kids' dorms and dorms main hall, they won. And most of those were very convincingly, one of course with the Koith clutch, but I mean, Koith has been showing up all game. I'm going to say it before the round starts so that I don't caster curse them, but 7-6, our scoreline. Structure Esports, they are showing up and in a big way on their opponent's map pick. And remember, this is a scrim map. They are heading on to a map that is really less played. The mountainous terrain of Chalet. It's going to be difficult for Hyferion5 to come back if they drop this round and ultimately drop the map.
Overtime match point for Structure Esports. And it's looking pretty good for them. They have a pretty good advantage coming into this round. They are on a base, probably one of the more defender-sided sites on this map. It's either this site or I'd even argue his doors sometimes, maybe if you want to get technical with it. But they're looking pretty good coming into this overtime match point, you know.
5 seconds to go.
Yeah, not a lot to say. We gotta see the round start, and we do have Matthew looking to probably get aggressive once again, like he did in the first few rounds. Except he's gonna rotate through Meeting this time.
And this is one nice little breath of fresh air as Matthew's back on the defensive side. They're 12-9 on the game. There is only 2 players on the Structure Esports side that are negative. As JRD on 6-10 and Karu over on 5-8. Both of them have been showing up, but in their own rights. Karu, of course, showing up when they walked straight through 2 Capcan traps and died, but hey, that's besides the point. 7-6. Still the scoreline, still what it will remain till the conclusion of this round. Now, JRD, ooh, wait. Diana's just gonna peek him. Oh my goodness, just barely staying alive, both of them, to be completely honest with you. But they will live to fight another day. The Sherman will run away and will drop down those boiler stairs as they will drop down all the way back towards site. And that's the roam basically gone. Other than Mathy, who's at the top of... They're all the way upstairs. They are at the top of tower.
Matthew being Matthew, okay. Yes, he's just gonna die. I'm so sorry. That's bad timing, but he is gonna die, and that is a 5v4 now in the advantage of H5. Matthew getting a little bit too aggressive, fighting off more than he can chew, and he leaves his team in a disadvantage. It is 1 minute and 40 left, so it's still enough time for NCG to really probably pull the round back here. But it's also enough time for Hy5 to make and execute onto site as they're looking to do a freezer push with this Sophia and Maverick. We also see Autumn going in, Meeting here, looking at the hatches as well.
Koith has information, and Koith is dangerous with information, but they're dead? What? Profit wins that gunfight? Are you kidding me? The LMG will be brought out as well. They kind of struggled with the M7, and justifiably so. They switch and they capitalize off of it. We're down to the final 60 seconds. It's just this 3-man defense. SX with the FO12. It's Karu with the shotgun and the SMG11. And finally, you got JRD. That 416C is dangerous as always. Stizzy will open this hatch. It'll take 1 second to do so, but there you go. You can actually open the hatch that way. I don't know if you knew that, but SX, they are going to try and play this hatch to perfection. The FO12 in hand. If they can come out on top of this, they will almost give their team the round. As Autumn, they have the diffuser in hand. We're down to the final 30. It's coming down to the wire as these teams are about as even as it gets.
These basement defenses are not looking good for both teams coming into overtime. And Hyferion5 are in the advantage here, but they are running low on time. It's about 20 seconds left. They need to figure out what they need, what they have to do, and they have to figure it out fast. And it doesn't look like they're going to be they're going to just run right in. Autumn gets taken out. Never mind. MP9 though makes this a 4v1 with Peru in this position as the smoke. He's going to get swung on by Prophet, and he's going to get shut down. Hyferion5 take this to an overtime match point for either team. This is for this is game. This is almost certainly done after this round. Any team can grab this right now.
I mean, if it's not done after this round, I'm very concerned with how our lobby was set up. But it says overtime match point at the top of your screen. That would deduce that, well, it's overtime match point for both of them. Hyferion5, they've had their momentum behind them, but I mean, at the same time, Structure has as well. It's coming down to who can win their defense. Structure winning their first attack, Hyferion winning theirs, and it's our final round. It has come down to the wire. Oregon showing why it is one of the most played maps. It's because teams are so well drilled on it. I'm looking at this and I don't know who I can say will win because Hyferion5, they're going to the top floor. They are forced towards that ceiling push, or at least the ceiling defense. And the last 2 times they went there, they lost it.
It's not looking good for them on this site. They lost this site twice, then went to basement, and that's what got them into overtime. Hopefully on this site they could probably look to fix the mistakes they had in the first 2 rounds that they lost on this site, and maybe completely take this map. But we may see NCG completely pub stomp them. They've been able to do the 2 times that they've beaten them on this site, and maybe they'll win the whole match. We don't know because we're about to the map in about 10 seconds. And this site setup, they're gonna be reinforcing this game wall. They do have a shield trophy, I assume. With Autumn playing with Goyo, they have a shield on Kid's door. Pretty simple site setup. Not much to say about it.
This is about as ultra as it gets. You need to see Hyferion play around their own setup correctly, though, because a lot of times they've been caught out by their own utility. Remember back when it was the smoke being dropped by their own shield, and of course their friendly fire, just a little bit. SAS. There's your bit of siege background. Stizzy taking early damage. They are the only one to do so, which, if you're looking at early damage, well, then you're an upset person, but if you're living there, it's just the end of the world.
He's left the worst, not the worst players. I think that's about 55 HP. Pretty sure he is the smoke, though, so that's going to be a little bit bad for him. As he's going to be very crucial for this big window take that NCG like to do. He's probably going to be rotating to Attic pretty soon to help with this Attic push, as it looks like NCG have a good amount of manpower going into Attic as well, with MP9 being the only one holding off this Attic push, but you do have Profit from below. With the probably rotate support him as he's trying to rotate through server to kitchen.
Way to drop the Vulcan early. JRD just not having the angle. Unfortunately, the reinforcement does block their line of sight early on, and now when Prophet does get the opening, that is Hyferion5 looking strong to open things up. Matthews dropped. That's the flank watch down. That is a lot of fragging potential off the board. Koith has not gotten a frag since we went to overtime. They have not gotten a frag for the last 2 rounds, and that's just not something we're used to seeing from them. In goes the shock drone. In goes a possible bit of information, but you can see it's just a split push coming through from Structure, and they have no structure behind it.
But that's the air jabs going, that's your flank watch going, and Prophet's actually going to be able to flank probably soon, but SX is able to get that kill onto MP9, hiding behind those couches in games, and it's an even man count now. As you say, it looks dire for NCG. It's looking almost perfect for them. As you talk about Koith, he gets his kill. It's 17 and 10 right now. It's a 4v2, 2v2 now, and it's a bunch of kills coming from High5. What's just going on? No way.
Oh my goodness, no. Prophet with the buddy ace with Stizzy. It was turned from a 4 versus 2 in the round to a 2 versus 1, the complete opposite way in the blink of an eye. That's what it came down to. That is how it ended. Hyferion5, they pick up Oregon, and I gotta say, they had no business doing so. On 3 or 4 different occasions, they really should not have won that map, yet here we are.
Yeah. You have to ask questions of NCG in that situation. It was a 4v2 advantage. They had games control. You would argue they had players able to watch those positions and be able to watch the flanks coming in from both players, and they just weren't able to. And that's really unfortunate. That's a choke. That's a choke. That's a choke. That's a choked round. And that's as easy as you can put it. That was their round to win. That was their map to win, and they didn't win it.
Yeah, they just didn't. They do lose their map, or they lose their opponent's map pick, so it's not the end of the world for them. We will head to Chalet, which of course is their map pick by process of elimination, of course, but we will get there when we come back. Don't go anywhere. It's Chalet when we return.
Yep.
Map 1 has come and gone, and well, it took every single possible round to complete it. An 8-7 finish as Hyferion5 come out on top of their own map pick. And well, without further ado, let's head on to the other side. It's Chalet up and on the board. That's where we head. That's where we will go. Structure. Let's see how they could do on their own side.
It's gonna be interesting. I know that last round was very, very sad for them. I understand it perfectly, wholeheartedly to the core because that was a choked loss. You can't put it any two ways behind whatever the saying is. I keep mixing up my sayings. And we are going to Chalet here. We do see the first band, which is Thatcher band. He is quite meta. And then the Flores band, you see those two band together quite often lately, actually. It's not something that's been like a thing all the time, but it's been happening a lot more lately. Flores is Flores is actually like being seen as like a pretty respectable op now. At first, people didn't like the idea of him, and now he's being banned a lot more because of how good his utility is. And then you see the Wamai.
What? At what the?
Then you see the Wamai.
Oh, okay. This is a new one, I have to say. I don't think we usually see my band out and off the board. What the heck is going on? This is not Cafe. Why are those two banned? What is
They're
this is
vibing,
the
man.
most Oh my gosh, this is a new one, I have to say. Well, I suppose I kind of understand. Like you can use those in the like library hall, but Goyo, I suppose, in the same place, but what the heck is going on there?
They're vibing, bro. You know what? Actually, I can understand the Goyo ban, especially on a map like Chalet. If you establish his shields in the right place, you can disrupt a lot of attacker movements with those shields because you can just set him off again. Like back when he was first released, a lot of people kind of related him like an alternative to Smoke, as you do see the six pick come from the Thunderbird onto the Valkyrie. She wasn't banned on this map, so now NCG are gonna run rampant with her, and it's quite funny enough. Their top fragger from last game to be able to be on this Valkyrie role now.
Yeah, they're going to be able to play the information game. And I feel like Koith is going to be able to capitalize off of this. A lot of times we saw them back in the smoke of the mute on the defensive side, back on Oregon. And it's Chalet. You just don't want to see that. It's just not, you don't see both. You usually see one or the other. The combination of the two is sparse, to say the least. JRD is going to make the switch over towards the Ella, and this time around they're going to have the Scorpion in hand. No FO12 will be seen on that one. I feel like we're only going to see one shotgun on the defensive side from this Structure side, at least here in round one, and I gotta say, hopefully through and through the rest of the half just the same. You can't really hit some fun 6 shots with a shotgun.
Yep, you can. You also have. Oh, I thought he picked the Sorry, I thought he picked the marksman rifle Matthew did with the Rooney. But we are heading into this matchup. It will be interesting to see how High Five are going to be able to attack this. Usually, if you do want to attack this site successfully, you do go for a north side push, like office take, piano take, just because
Oh, that's
he
free.
Prophet tries and then he just doesn't get anywhere with that. It's just a poor piece of droning from him, and Matthew's able to capitalize. Matthew's been like one of the more wildly roaming out there players, and High Five still are just getting caught out by it, even in this map.
It's they need to learn. They say fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. And Hyferion cannot put the blame on Structure anymore. They need to pick up on the fact that they are being roamed and flanked just about every aspect of the game. and they're now going for a really one-dimensional take. I don't see anybody else on various sides of the map. MP9 will make their way into Mudroom, but that's about all they can muster. As to horizontal pushes, JRD's ready for it as well. If they just peek around, they may just get the kill. There's the information, but they don't peek around far enough to know MP9 is waiting here. The LMG in hand for this Finka, surprisingly not bringing the spear. That's an interesting one.
I just want to note back on the Prophet death again. I didn't. I thought it was pretty weird in the first place that he would push basement like that. Usually, when you're with the competitive team, you'd push, uh, a place together, and he's solo pushing basement by himself, knowing that there's possibly a roamer or two down there. That's just pretty poor drone work again. And we are heading into a minute and 5 left into this round. Hyferion5 have destroyed this Aruni gate, but other than that, they have not made any waves around the site. Stizzy's going to be punished by the Valkyrie on this long Aethel, and Koith is able to get a down but not out. Stizzy's still down, and then as you guys can tell, MP9 gets a kill with this LMG Finka, and he's able to boost himself up to get a little bit of HP for himself and his two teammates. And he also
Stizzy,
revives Stizzy back up
yeah,
from the
I would
dead
say
too.
Stizzy's actually back alive because of that, but
Mhm.
MP9 is no longer. Koith, nice shot around using that MPX to perfection and dropping MP9. Gecko looking to repel in. They will look to create some room for themselves, but that Toxic Babe will go in, and the low HP Stizzy is dropped, as is the high HP Gecko. It is down now to just Autumn. They do push in, they do get one, but that is all they will muster. SXK will clean out the round, and from above, it is Structure to finally pick up a round. And I gotta say, that is a strong start compared to the more difficult finish we saw back on Oregon.
Strong start for Structure Esports, but a very poor start from High Five. That push just seemed a little bit, we have Structure Esports in this game. That looked a little bit unstructured from High Five. They didn't really have like a good push coming into that. You saw them kind of as soon as Prophet died. I wouldn't even say it was because Prophet died, because it at the beginning of the round it just didn't seem like they had a concrete way of pushing. They didn't know what to do. They tried to go for the window by games, and they couldn't really do anything with that. If you're going to take bar gaming, you need to do a top down take, starting with either you're attacking library first, or you're attacking the master bedroom side and you're clearing that roam game on the north side, and then you're easing your way into piano, and then you ease your way onto fireplace balcony, and then you ease your way into library, and then you ease your way into site. That's why I was referencing that push at the beginning. It just doesn't make sense to push that site without having a top down control. And it
Say,
bites them in the
dang,
butt.
you sounded a little angry about that.
I am a little bit angry. I'm kidding. I'm not angry about it. I'm just a little bit disappointed because I expected a little bit more from High Five. Their attacks have looked pretty sharp before, and it's just disappointing to see it end like that. It's a little bit weird. They had the drones, they had the Ayana, they had the intel, they have the Finka, they have all of this utility, and they don't use it to clear the roam game. And it's a bit disappointing to watch, to say the least.
Yeah, that's one thing that you really just see as a disappointing side. The buck going below, it's not the greatest decision. I mean, it's still plausible, but it's library. Or you can just go up to library and attack from above. They don't. And in the end, it costs them Structure pick up the round. And I gotta say, it wasn't for free, but it was at a very, very large discount. They were having their Black Friday sales early on the Hyferion attack, and Structure took full advantage. As I like my sales memes.
And that they do. It's about to be a 2 minutes and 10 left. This Hyferion 5 are going for this slow approach. They have made their way into the build. Nope. Have they
What?
made their way
No.
into the building?
He's
Prophet though has made his way into the building, and he finds a kill onto Matthew. That's the Aruni that got him last round, and he's not gonna be able to get him no more, as Prophet is able to get that kill, and he's still 100 HP. So Matthew didn't even get a chance in that gunfight.
Slapping down the Uno reverse card as MP9 gets another one for Hyferion5. SXK is dropped. That's the mute off the board. There's the plant utility, or the post-plant utility, or even just plant denial. That is gone. So is a lot of health for Koith as they get one onto Profit. The Buck is gone, the Canadian off the board, but they still have to deal with the Ayana. The soft pings on towards the Jaeger aren't directly accurate, but they don't have to be. MP9 will peek around. They will get their second on the round. Koith is dropped, and this is not looking good for Structure.
It's a 4v2 disadvantage for them. Jord is still below with the Thunderbird. He does have the Nitro Cell in hand, and he's going to light up one. He's going to get the kill into the Finka. That's a swing and a make from him, but he's left in the 1v4, in a 1v3 clutch situation. I'm sorry, and he's going to try and get aggro on the stairs. He's going to get lit up from his Thunderbird, but he doesn't have a Kona station anywhere near him, and he still has his Nitro Cell in hand, and he doesn't have enough intel to connect that Nitro Cell, and he's still going to be battling it out with this Ayana on the stairs.
He's dead.
But yeah, he's dead. He's gonna die.
What?
Wow, no, he's not. He doesn't
Wait
die.
a dang
Sorry. Oh,
hold up. This is possible. No, he still has to push through a nade and an air jab. It's. I don't know if it's possible. It's still sick that he hit that shot, but he's got 12 seconds to get on that diffuser. He's looking in a bad position. He has to make some room, and he may try and run by a Kona station or two, but that's only health that it will give him. 7 seconds only to get on this diffuser, and that nade will just create some room. This round is over. Hyferion5 will win it via kills as Sizz will get that kill, and I gotta say that was a questionable defense to say the least.
That bottom floor hold, kitchen hold from all three Koith. Who was it? It was Koith, Maddie, and then was it JRD on a Thunderbird? I think it was. It just wasn't meant to be. Matthew got picked up early on by the Buck. Then you saw Koith get into some gunfights and he wasn't able to win. Not one of them. The only one really able to get out of that kitchen attack alive from it was the Thunderbird of JRD. He still had a Nitro Soul in hand. He had his guns. He had the Bearing 9. He has the Spirit. Doesn't matter. He was able to escape from that, but it was only him and his teammates died around him. That support was gone. And then the players on site also died to the players attacking the site around him. So the pressure kind of made NCG collapse a little bit, and they were overwhelmed, and it only left JRD in that 1v3 situation. And albeit he got a really, really weird kill onto the Ayana. He got a really nice shot onto her, but it wasn't enough as Stizzy was able to shut that out for them.
Hyferion5, they looked better in that round, to say the least. They looked much more strong, and I think they understood that, well, they actually have to shoot their opponents in order to attempt to win rounds. My question here is, why is Structure going to the bottom floor? I don't remember the last time I saw a competitive team go to the bottom floor, and Maddie also does not have a sight on that MP7. They're running irons, so we'll see how that goes for them. This is questionable, to say the least, from Structure. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, in support of Matthew's decision to run the iron sights are actually very viable on Bandit's gun. If this were Jaeger's gun and he was running iron sights as ugly as the iron sights are on those carbine, I would have been questioning it. But it is MP5, you do see a lot of people run the iron sights here. And you also see Hyferion5 make a quick entrance into Car Garage, and they are going to get pings from below to be able to throw some nitro cells. Wow, Matthew getting aggressive on that west side area, and he's gonna get taken out by Gecko, and that's the Nomad taking out the Bandit. I mean, the Bandit probably could have baited Trick, but obviously he wasn't looking to because it's Matthew, and Matthew is playing this really aggro.
I don't even know why you bring the Bandit. They're bringing a Maverick. At that point, just don't even
Kaid
worry
isn't
about it.
banned either, so
Well, I mean, yeah, but even then, you just don't counter a Maverick. They haven't brought a single, like, hard breach on this attacking side. Maybe a Habana over on Oregon, but that's about all they were given. SX will play in this close corner along with JR as they make their way around, but what is going on for Structure? I don't like this team comp. I don't like the way they're playing it, and, well, you can see that the Maverick unaffected by any possibility of bandits, much less the fact that they are even there. I'm questioning a lot of things from this defensive side, to say the least.
instead of the Bandit, instead of the Kaid, you do see the Bandit in play. They didn't. Neither team banned banned Kaid, so it's kind of confusing why you bring the bandit in the first place with how Kaid finds his way into the meta. And you see these Maverick codes being made. Are nades gonna start flying through? As it looks like they burned all the ADSs, so they need to get this mute off the wall and possibly that bandit charge so they don't get in any more trouble. And it is 50 seconds coming up into this round. You see Jordan in this southwest corner. I don't know what angle he's holding, but MP9 is gonna be looking to keep holding these Maverick holes. As you see Stizzy is gonna get sprayed at by Jordan. So he was holding those holes on that wall. Wow, MP9 is able to get that kill onto Jordan, not a shocker. And it's now a 5v3.
It's down to the
Wow.
wire, 20 seconds. Oh my goodness, Autumn gets a kill, and that is a 5 versus 2. Autumn does get taken out from the side. They are unaware of that flanking SX. They are just chilling out in blue, and they will finish off the down. Karoo is naded down to about 40 HP. The flashbang will come through as well, but they can peek around. Will they? Yes, they will, but they'll be shut down by the skeleton key. MP9 will close things out as Hyferion5 will wipe out the questionable bottom floor decision, and honestly, the questionable setup they had as well. A lot of question marks being thrown in on, well, this side of the mic, and probably from the structure side as well, as I don't think even they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If basement hold is not gonna be viable, and I hate to say this for any bandit mains out there, but for bandit, it's not gonna be viable if you're trying to deny any of the walls being opened up. With bandit charges, your best bet is going to be Kaid and Mute, just because of Mute having multiple signal disruptors. Obviously, with the nerf, he's not gonna be able to be as potent as he used to be, but Kaid has those throwable Kaid charges or electroclaws that he's able to throw from range, and he's not as vulnerable to utility being thrown and tossed at him as Bandit is because of how far he can throw his ranges. And in that case, Matthew didn't even stay on site and deny any of those balls. He's all the way off site. He's being very aggro. And ultimately, it cost his team that round because he was the first one to die. He was the first one to die last round as well. Round before that, where Hyferion5 won.
10 seconds left.
I don't know what's going on, but it is only 4 rounds. This round being the 4th, and it's about to start right now.
Yeah, prep phase concluding. Back to bar and gaming goes structure. This is where they won last time, and that one was a really convincing win. They won their gunfights, they had the strats up and good to go. I think they can do it again. Now, the question is whether they will die early. We saw that as a difficulty for them over on Oregon as well, mainly on the attacking side, as it was for Hyferion. It's the same, but this time around, their one flaw on their defensive side is they're not getting the early frags that we saw them get on the defensive side of Oregon. And Hyferion5, they chose to start on the attack, and honestly, you can see why. 2 rounds out of 3 to start things off on Chalet. This is a strong opening from a team that had difficulties on their own map pick, and I gotta say, this is a breath of fresh air, to say the least. And oh my goodness, MP9 with the angle. The C8 will shut down SXK. The Jaeger off the board early, and that is not the opening that Structure would have wanted.
They let them establish these power positions on these windows, and that's a 1-tap Profit. Oh my lord, God bless JRD's soul. Profit's able to move into the piano, and I think he has sight control. No, he doesn't. I'm so sorry. This isn't master bedroom office. They did exactly what I was upset about in the very first round, where they were attacking bar gaming, and they're doing the take that I wanted them to do to be effective. But as I say, this is going to be an easy knock yourself. And that's a kill from Gecko as he traced that out. He traced it out a little bit late, but it's a 4v2 advantage for the side of Hyferion5 as they head into the 1-minute 20-second round.
Yeah, we're down to the final 80, and Structure NCG not looking good to minimize the criticism there. Matthew holding a long angle and one that is almost never played ever, but the information now should be there. The drone will find them out, and they have to make their way over towards Mez. They do push around, looking towards the big window. Nobody showing them their face, at least not just yet. The peek will come in after the spray, but they are going to be peeked from their left. They know it. In comes the drone, and they have to make their way out. Will they be able to drop? Yes, they will. Just barely, as the peek on the other side will fade away. Structure, we're down to the final 40 seconds, and as time continues to run off this clock, they're being given more and more openings to try and come back in this round, but Hyferion5 doing more and more damage and showing up on this attack.
Matthew's dancing the dance of death here as he almost loses that out, but he's able to get himself a quick kill with that corner station. And he's gonna rotate up to west side stairs. Is he gonna cast somebody out? It looks like he is, and that's the Maverick gone, and that's the Fuser down, but it doesn't matter because on the other side of that, you saw 2 kills. Prophet is gonna be the last one, and that's the round, folks. That's Hyferion5's round. It is a 3-1 take here on Chalet.
Hyferion5, where was this on Oregon? Did we get our map selections mixed up? Did Structure actually pick Oregon? That's mostly a joke. I know Structure did not pick Oregon, but from what we're looking at, it seems like they did. They had a negligible shot over on there, but the Chalet is usually a defensive-sided map, and Hyferion5 choosing the attack, and you can see exactly why. Koith will show the Mira, but they look to 6th pick. Will it actually come through? Yes, it looks like it will. The Aruni will be picked, as they may actually bait me. No, they will not. They stick with the Aruni, and they need something on this defensive side. We're down to the final 2 rounds of the half, and a 4-2 or even a possible 5-1 split on the board for Hyferion, and on the attack heading to the defense. This is looking like a strong match.
Yeah, I want to talk about a little bit about NCG in that. I want to talk a little bit about NCG in that round because they gave a lot of early picks up to Hyferion5, and that obviously if you lose a lot of those fights early on, you are gonna be left worse towards the later end of the round.
10 seconds left.
And even then, after they were in a man disadvantage, they kept being aggressive. And if you like, I get not wanting to give up map control, but once you start dying, once you start giving up that man advantage, you have to pull back. You have to go back to site. They didn't get those kills from killing them on site. They got those kills from killing those players off site, and that's what really screwed over NCG so hard. And even in that 4v2, Maddie had to get aggressive, and usually I clown on Maddie a little bit, especially in this matchup because he's gotten a little bit aggressive, but because it hasn't paid off sometimes. But he had to get aggressive because he had to get a pick for his team so that they could win a round, and ultimately it didn't pay out for them. It's 20.
Honestly, just not panning out the slightest, and that's the issue they're running into. Hyferion5, they're looking strong in this attack. Everything other than the first round was relatively a breeze for them. Maddie, this is a ballsy angle to play. They're just going to hang out here. And if they even move, they could be heard by an errant drone. Prophet seems to be relatively aware of the possibility, just not the overall prospect, as the Prophet will just look to continue to hold this angle. They've had this fight now twice before. It's gone 1-1 thus far in this Chalet map, but why don't they just drone it out? You could just throw a drone in there. Maybe have a flank set up, and instead they just...
I don't think they want to bother. They don't want to waste the time. Eventually, Matthew's going to rotate up those stairs, and somebody's going to kill them because they have a Nomad. They have those air jabs in play. They know Matthew's going to be playing in base. But what has he been doing the whole time here to throw the match up with the map? Not that, because JRD is going to get a Nitro Cell kill on to the Solarian windows. Advantage into NCG's favor.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Surprising, to say the least. What?
Wow.
Oh my goodness, no. Stizzy, Doms, JRD. It's been brought back. We're dead even yet again. Maddie, nobody's up there. You can jump out all you want. You can run out all you would like, but nobody is there to receive. Hyferion5, this is a questionable round for them, but they're still looking decent in it.
They have these Nomads set up, and it looks like Maddie's going to get aggro again. Like I told you, they know that Maddie's going to be playing aggro on basement. He hears it. Wow. He's able to get that kill even with the air drone right above him. I even heard it on my headphones, and he's able to bypass it just by a little bit. Prophet, though, is going to collect the kill into Koith, making this an even man count with the team. It's 25 seconds. It's about to be 25 seconds left as well, as they need to make an execution.
Oh, Koru, no!
Fight. What?
Oh, Koru, they almost could have gotten the kill. I say almost could have, but the Prophet ended up not peeking the angle. It's down to the final 10. They need to push in. MP5 does get the kill into Matthew. Koru still in this close corner. Do they push in? It seems like they may. Down goes the diffuser. Prophet takes out Koru. It is just down to SXK. They do get one, but that may be all they will be able to get with this Mossberg. Diffuser planted, 40 seconds left on it, and it looks like Stizzy's just hanging out on top of it.
Prophet had a really good angle held on that big wall that they were able to breach through, and he got a kill to pay it off. But you see SX, he tries to rotate through main door of master bedroom, and he's gonna get shut down by Stizzy. Stizzy has been really good on this map so far. I think I want to look at the scoreboard. Maybe I just want to know. I don't know. I think. I think he has been very good on this map. He's consistently probably one of their best players. He is their IGO. So you look to your IGO for not only just like vocal support, but also, physical support in game. And he's doing really well in that Maverick here. He's playing him almost perfectly to a T.
I'm surprised. I'm going to continue to carry this shocked notion through and through, by the way, because Hyferion5 are looking like a completely different team. It's now 4-1. They have a good shot at making it 5.
Attackers need to
And
locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
I don't like Structure's shots at making this a 4-2 half. We're back to Bar Gaming. Thus far, the only site they have won, and they've only won it once. They are, thus far, 1-1 on the site. And I feel like they could pull it off, but they need to clean things up. And some spring cleaning through the middle of fall seems to be in order, as their defense has had a large lack of structure. And by their name, that's
10 seconds remaining.
They are gonna be heading into this defense again on Bar Gaming, and I hope they aren't going to be as aggressive on their mode. It looks like they are. They do have the Thunderbird all the way over in the kitchen. They do have the Jaeger all the way over in the kitchen for the Thunderbird. And you see a very simple site setup as well coming in for them. You do see the Frost as well. Maybe that's to slow H5 down, because H5 have been able to take map control pretty comfortably. And NCG haven't been able to stop them, not once at all.
Dangerous angle. You don't know which window they're going to peek you from. Drone will go in, so the information will be there if the Native American op peeks again. Doesn't seem like they're going to. You can see the bottom as well. They are hanging out all the way down there, and it seems like the Ayana's aware of it. Yes, they are. Look at the angle. It's actually the Mav looking down, but Mavi's playing a dangerous game, as for some reason is Autumn, who does not need to do that. They are now dead. And Hyferion5 a little reckless with their play here. Oh no, the timing! Oh my gosh, his drone actually saved him. Wow. Stizzy somehow still alive. What the heck just happened?
Matthew, interestingly enough, is not going to peek that. I would take him for the player to peek that, because he's done it before, but he's going to walk away from that good player. The better of the... Oh my god, he tries for the... Oh, okay, well, MP9. That's a little bit unlucky, though. But he did the kill after he punches out the door by Trent, and it's a 5v2 advantage for NCG. 5v2 advantage, Matthew hitting his shots. Is Stizzy gonna be on this upside? Better not. And he is. Matthew gets a triple kill. And Prophet is actually gonna slim this down to a 1v4, but it's gonna be for naught. These are probably the most unclutchable situations. He's nowhere near the site to make a play here, and they haven't gotten enough map control or broken down a little bit around the map to even justify for him to be able to clutch this. And
this is not good. If they actually make this call and stick with the skins call, that's the round to Hyferion5. Yeah. Can we ask them if they're making a skins call really quick? That would be dangerous. Prophet does look to continue their clutch. It is an ace clutch situation. They would need all 5, and they do not have the diffuser in hand. 35 seconds on this clock as Prophet continues to push forward. We're down to the wire. They need to peek around, and they need to make a play. They're not looking at the angle, though, as Structure will close out the round. It's Koi considerably reached that 9 mil from a distance, and oh, that's just unfortunate for Hyferion5. But I still want to know, are they asking the question? We're gonna actually ask them that question. So you're gonna be able to take a look over at us for the moment. Yes, we are going to pause and ask them. That's what we're doing. But I Wombe, I if they make the skins call and it's a 5-1, um, Structure in an awful position.
Yeah, like I would be a little bit upset, not even as a structured esports player or fan looking into this. I would be a little bit upset, even just me watching that if they end up getting that round loss just because of a skin mistake. Um, Mistakes do happen, but in that case, I don't know. Like it's, I'd be a bit salty about that, and I'm pretty sure if they end up losing because of that round, because of that, they're gonna be salty and their mantle's gonna be shot coming into the upcoming round if this ends up being a call against them. So
Yeah, we're gonna send it to a quick break because I feel like with the pause, ironically, we've had a tech issue. So we're gonna take a very quick break. It won't be very long. We're gonna make sure the skins issue is cleared up and that we have concluded it necessarily and the correct way according to our rulebook. And of course, we're going to have the rest of our game. Don't go anywhere. It's round number 7 and the second half of Chalet when we come back.
It's
Hi there, we're back. Apologies for the extended delay. We wanted to make sure we got everything right, and as far as I know, we did. So we're gonna go back right and into things. HF5 or Hyferion5 will have that 5-1 advantage, well, because of the unfortunate illegal skin put on the board. Our bans are not un, but I think everybody should remember them. I know I don't because we had weird bans. Wamai and I have them, so we're good. Hold up. Just to make sure that everybody does things correctly, and to make sure that nobody has an now illegal operator instead of an illegal skin. It's Flores, Wamai, Thatcher, Goyo. But yeah, everybody already got it in chat before I did, so you know they wrecked me, I suppose. We're good to go. Nobody has an illegal operator, so I don't think we'll need a rehost, which is always nice. Hyferion5, they're looking strong. And 5-1 on the defensive side. I got to get your opinion here, Wumbe. What do you think we're looking at here?
Seeing as NCG, like, we're about to win that round, but because of the
Attackers
skin
need to locate and
rule,
defuse
we're
bombs.
drop that round, making this a 5-1. They're probably going to be a little bit triggered coming into the round. They are attacking. Attacking sides on Chalet do have a little bit of luck coming into their rounds with the downtown. And it's the kitchen dining room defense, so I assume there's going to be a top floor heavy roam coming in from Hyferion5. You have a lot of their players from below. If you wanted to defend this site, sorry, from above. And if you want to defend this site, you could have to take vertical control from above. You have to establish vertical angles so they don't get an easy plant in any site really, in kitchen, dining, behind the dining room table, for example, behind the kitchen counter. And we are going to start the round. We're going to see how NCG starts this round.
I feel like Hyferion, they are looking good. They're going to the only site not played by Structure in that half, which, as ironic as it sounds, this is probably about as good as a start as Hyferion5 can really ask for. That's going to catch Structure off entirely. If they don't play this dining room and kitchen side, why the heck would they expect Hyferion to go there first? I honestly, I didn't until I saw the site up on our screen. Now, how they're going to hold it is the other question. They have no south-sided extension. They have very little roam horizontally and, honestly, vertically at the same time. So this is a question of how they want to lock things down. And MP9 on the top floor along with the smoke in tow, I feel like that's going to be our answer.
You see MP9 on this top floor. Yeah, on this top floor that they do have. They have, like I said, established these vertical positions so that NCG won't be able to get an easy plant behind dining. You see them at the beginning right here, at least pushing this main lobby, fireplace lobby. And MP9 is going to take a little bit of hit from one of these angles that he's holding from above. And it looks like he takes it from Matthew, but Matthew is going to be dead. His head ripped off from the carbine of MP9, and it is a 5v4 advantage in the advantage for Hyferion5. Prophet gets a kill, but he's going to get traded out. It's a trade for both SX and Prophet as they both take each other out. It is a 4v3 now, and this round is going by really quickly. There's a minute and 20 left, and the attack, because they get their execute onto site now, their pressure is mounting.
They need to push, and they need to do so quickly. They have very little opportunities to do this. They have no ability to take out that Electric Claw unless they get it through a soft surface, which is difficult to do in and of itself because they have very little map control. There's 60 seconds left on this clock. Structure, they are looking worse for wear, to say the least. We will finally have the IQ from above look to take out that Electric Claw. They will look to do so, but they will fail in that, and I don't know where the heck that is. It's easier said than done, apparently, to remove Electric Claw, and they still have yet to do so. It's on the wall, my friend. It's okay. We understand.
It's in the middle of the wall. The IQ can't seem to get it, and if he's caught from these vertical angles, he's not going to be caught off from these vertical angles if he gets a nice shot onto MP9. Making this an even man count. 5 seconds left. They are not looking too great in this round because they don't have any of the walls open. It looks like they don't have vertical angles established. Actually, they do have the walls open because I can't think. Poison's going to open the wall. He's going to get taken out by his own team. Koro, the last one, alive with his punch. Will he be able to clutch it out? Nope, because Sneeze is going to be able to get his second of the game. Apparently, that was a flawless round.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Siege, no, it wasn't. Good try, though. The UI not working properly. Apologies for that one. It was not a flawless round.
Change you get next season again.
Oh, yeah, well, welcome to every other week where something in Rainbow Six changes. They for some unknown reason, brought up those new UI things, for instance, the trades and the announcements of kills at the top right corner, which are now incorrect, which is astounding. But nonetheless, Hyferion5, they are now on 6, as, well, opposing to the name suggest, they are above their current number, and they're on match point. This is the 2-0 point. This is the series over if they can pull it off. A different switch than we're used to seeing. A Valkyrie onto the Vigil. You usually see vice versa to try and bait out those evil eyes or the black eyes, but they don't. And they're going to the why is everybody going to the basement? What is going on? Did I miss a memo? Is Europe for some unknown reason like the bottom floor?
Not from what I've This is probably the least played site across all regions in the basement. You rarely see teams go to it, and for good reason, because it's easier to get overwhelmed on that site, especially if the attackers get garage wall open in like the first 30 seconds, which usually doesn't happen in garage because of how you utility on the main wall.
10 seconds left.
Instead, they're gonna go here again. So maybe they know something we don't. They didn't bring a Kaid. They didn't bring a Bandit. They didn't bring anything of notice to us. And it's gonna be interesting to see how they defend this with the round starting just now. And NCG is looking to improve on their attacks after their last round kind of fell flat.
NCG not looking good, to say the least. They are attacking the bottom floor, which, again, not a strong save for the defenders. I don't know why people go here. They could just go more engaging or else. They could even go to the top floor, but I feel like they're just going to try and maybe play a strat. And here's the strat structure. We're going to hold W in. One will die, but it's an even trade back and forth, at least to open things up. Stizzy will get one, and oh my goodness, MP9 with one of their own. This is falling apart as SX is down to a sliver of health. They will add an extra 20 on top of that as the stim will come through. But Structure are now down one player, down a crap ton of health, other than, well, Stizzy being low as well. But again, questionable decisions coming out from the Structure side.
They're giving up a lot. It was a quick rush, but ultimately their whole team didn't seem to commit to it, as they did lose 2 bodies coming into that. They did take down one with them, but they are left in a disadvantage. Gunfight going to be taken by Prophet though. It's going to be lit up by Matthew, spraying through the wall from the hallway into dining, and he's going to get the down, and he's going to be out, Prophet is he, because he's going to be killed by Matthew on that nomad. They didn't know about the player of MP9. Sect right here, they don't, and he gets an easy headshot onto Matthew. This is a 3v2 now, as he's trying to get away with his life here. Literally one shot. He barely gets away because that wall bang could have literally downed him. Could have been converted for the kill.
Could have been done and dusted, but in the end he does get away with it. Toru and SX. 60 seconds left in this clock. They need to push in, but they're not aware of the close range player in their right side, and there's no reason they should be. SX trying to create some room. They will die. Autumn with the kill there. The 1 versus 3, 110 health versus, well, what seems to be 150. The peak has to come through. It's a C8 with a hollow up against what seems to be everything. They don't even have to peek on this Hyferion5 side. They will anyway, just to mess with him. Stizzy on the long angle, the FMG9. Yes, you heard me correctly. It is available and on the board. The peek does come through. It will not hit. It continues to miss. But with 30 seconds left, it may not matter. Shotgun close range, and it's just Stizzy to get the triple and get the map. Chalet is won, as is the series. A 2-0 finish for Chalet, or for this Hyferion5 side, as they take Chalet in a convincing fashion.
I'd hate to say it, but it would have been way different had that round not gone in the way of Hyferion5, making that a 5-1 because of the skin rule that we do have set in place across all competitive leagues in Siege. And a little bit unfortunate there for NCG. This was their map pick, but ultimately Hyferion5 just completely pummeled them on their own map. Made it look like it was their own
They
map
wiped
pick.
them.
Yeah.
They wiped them.
If you told
I gotta
me,
say that was not really close.
yeah, if you told me that NCG picked that map, I would have been like, I think you're lying, because there's no way they didn't look prepared for that map at all. And if you're gonna play on a map, on any map that you pick, it doesn't matter because we have map picks in this in Siege for a reason. Uh, it, you have to be prepared for any map you pick, whether this be a best of 1, whether this be a best of 3, whether this be a best of 5, whether this be a best of anything. If you pick a map and you get slammed on your own map pick, that is your fault because you're not prepared for it. And they weren't. That was a 7-1 demolishing on their own map pick.
Yeah,
And that's sad.
they got crushed. That was they got crushed. It is what it is. In the end of the day, it's a map loss. Just the same as Oregon. They are worth the same as far as I know. And well, unfortunately for the Structure side, they dropped both maps. In the end, it ends 2-0. But that will be all for Wumbe and I. My name is Time Delight, of course. Wumbe joining me and our amazing production staff. Rick and Morty running our cameras, and the one and only Epsilon just running the stream to make sure you guys can see everything in an outstanding fashion. But that's it for us. We'll see you guys tomorrow. It's more Rainbow Six action. Don't miss it out. We'll see you guys.